Hi, welcome to the New Haven County Public Library. How can I help you today? Sure. Sure. Of course. Do you happen to know the name or author of the books you're looking for, or is it more just a general subject? Just a general subject. Sure. Excellent. And what kind of subjects are you going to be taking a look at? You're a writer. Excellent. What do you write, if you don't mind my asking? Poetry. Perfect. Excellent. I do a little bit of prose on the side myself, so I think I can understand what you're here for, seeking a little bit of inspiration, right? Excellent. We have a lot of books that I think will help you out, okay? Sure. What other genres are you looking at, or subject material? Okay. Got the nieces and nephews coming over. Oh, just one of each. Okay. Not a whole gaggle of kids coming your way. Just a couple. Perfect. And just want a couple books for them to read, I imagine. Keep them busy when you're answering emails or doing a little bit of work. Am I right? Perfect. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have a really big kids section and young adult section, so I think we can definitely find what you're looking for there. And then I think you mentioned the 3 books you were looking for. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. Let's actually start with that one. Because I have just a book in mind for you. Let me grab it really quick. Perfect. Typewriters, A Celebration of the Ultimate Writing Machine. Did you just recently purchase a typewriter, or are you looking to purchase a typewriter? Oh, okay. So you just got your first one. Excellent. Yeah, and this book is definitely going to be suitable. It's got a lot on the history of typewriters, how they came into being, kind of the origin story, as well as some biographies on some of the most prominent companies that produce typewriters. In addition to, your general maintenance tips, tricks, the kind of breakdown of the mechanics that are in a typewriter that make a typewriter work. Yeah, I think this will definitely suit your needs. Want me to set it aside for you? Sure. Excellent. One down, a few more to go. Perfect. And I'll check them out for you once we found everything that you need, okay? Perfect. Alright, so next, your inspiration. What exactly are you seeking inspiration on, if you don't mind my asking? Are you looking more for kind of like subject material? Or are you looking more for kind of structural elements? Structure, okay. Having a little bit of trouble constructing your poems, yeah? Stanzas, that kind of thing, rhyme schemes? Okay. I have just the book for you. The Edgar Allan Poe collection. Of course, Poe is one of the literary greats, but he really kind of made a name for himself initially with the poetry. And the short stories, of course, are brilliant, but for me, his ability to use some of the structural elements, the rhyme schemes, the meters and rhythms, is what really sets Poe apart. And I apologize, it seems like the last person who read this left a bookmark in, so I can take that out for you. I'll just set that to the side. It happens more often than you'd think. I feel bad when it's the very expensive bookmarks that people leave in. Luckily this one was just a sticky note, so no worries there. I'm not sure that they'll be wanting that one back. But yeah, Poe I think will serve you really well for when you're struggling with what kind of rhyme scheme you want to adopt or how you want to incorporate certain elements of poetry into your writing. Want me to set this one to the side? Okay, we're moving right along. And you know what, actually, this is going to sound strange, but whenever I find myself struggling with word choice or with kind of sentence construction, I often look to Dr. Seuss. I know that sounds weird, but the way that he used language and the way that he really manipulated it, bent it, twisted it, invented new words to fit his needs and to, fill that perfect spot. Not to mention, Dr. Seuss was really good at making that bouncy, fun rhyme scheme that just flowed so elegantly. So much of his work transcends, just the medium of fun children's poetry. And I think it's why it's held up so well. Unfortunately, even some of Poe's works, especially the short stories, don't quite hit as well as they used to. Our threshold for fear has increased dramatically, exponentially, since when Poe was writing. Yet our threshold for fun has stayed right where it needs to so that we can enjoy Dr. Seuss. I'm going to pull down a book for you, and I think even if you've read it before and even if you read it as a kid, it merits revisiting as an adult. I think you're going to get a lot out of this. So let me grab a Dr. Seuss book for you, okay? Here we are. A veritable classic. The Cat in the Hat. I think that you're going to get a lot out of this one. It's, Dr. Seuss is most well known, obviously, but it also is the epitome of the Seussian style. And I think it's going to help you when you're kind of down in the dumps, you don't quite know how to write what you have in your head, how to put it on the page and make it sound as eloquent and as masterful as how you want it to. I think Dr. Seuss can really help to inject a little bit of fun into the process, but then also provide a unique perspective for inspiration. So, now, the kids. Obviously, you can read Dr. Seuss to them, and I think they would be thrilled no matter their age, but specifically for additional reading material, what books are they interested in, and what kind of genres are we looking at? Okay. Now, are those going to be comic books like Marvel and DC, or are you looking more to newspaper comics? Newspaper comics, interesting. I grew up reading those, in the Sunday paper every week, and we obviously have a huge selection here of the comic anthologies, but readership has kind of dropped off in recent years, so it's extremely reassuring to see that kids are taking up newspaper comics. So and then some young adult reading, right? Perfect. Okay, and is it the niece that's the young adult reader? Okay, and she's just kind of breaking into that. Excellent. I have 2 books in mind that I really think will hit the mark. Calvin and Hobbes was a childhood favorite of mine, and surprisingly, the humor really still holds up. It hasn't been in print for probably a depressingly long time. I'll show my age if I reveal just how long it's been. It's probably been over a decade. But it's still witty and also very heartfelt. Bill Watterson was a real expert in kind of cutting some of the nonsense and nonsensical jokes with some really rhetorically rich material that can pull at your heartstrings and really kind of act as almost a deep clean. So often, with all the media that we're exposed to, we often find ourselves overwhelmed with material, and maybe it's not all very good. Some of it's depressing, some of it's sad, some of it makes us very angry. Calvin and Hobbes has a unique way of offering a reprieve from that kind of material. I think that this is really going to appeal to your nephew. How about it? Perfect. And then for the niece, another one of my favorites. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli is a very human piece of media. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, and it's just such a well-written book that once you get to the end, you kind of find yourself going, wow, you have to take a moment to let everything sink in that you've read. It's really fantastic, and the best part is it doesn't push the boundary too hard, which isn't to say that it's not provocative and thought-provoking, but it's also very suitable for young readers. There aren't scenes or chapters that you'd have to censor, put in work to make sure that your niece is only reading appropriate things for her age. It's just such a well-written book. It really balances its audience with the materials that it wants to deliver, and the product is just astounding. So I don't know what it's going to take, perhaps a sign or two, to get people to take their bookmarks out of their books when they return them, but I will start work on that once we get you all set here, because, well, at this point it's getting embarrassing, isn't it? So, we have those, looks like 5 books for you. If you don't mind my making a recommendation, if you're having your niece and nephew over for the weekend, I presume? Perfect. We do have a large selection of board games here, and there's one in particular that I think you will really find a lot of value in, because it's really easy to pick up, and it is exceedingly fun to play over and over again. You can spend, an hour or 2 hours playing this board game. Let me grab it for you, actually, and I'll show you what I mean. You probably aren't able to quite make out the label, but it's a game called Chameleon. And essentially, there's one person in the group who doesn't know what you have a card with a list of objects or a list of names, places, etc. of your group. Everyone except for one person has a qualifier, a category, and they choose the person or thing based on that category. The person who doesn't know what the category is still has to choose the thing on the card. and then you go around and you say your picks. Or you don't say your picks, rather. You have to hint at what you picked. And at the end, everyone votes on who they think the chameleon is, the person who's trying to blend in, who didn't quite know what they were supposed to pick. And, you know, if they're able to, then everyone gets a point, except for the chameleon. But if the chameleon is able to blend in, I believe they get a couple points. So a very fun game. I've played this extensively with my family. We have our own version back at my house. It's just it's a very age-appropriate game, but it's fun for all ages. It really is. I know a lot of board games say that. Not all of them can deliver on that promise. This one definitely does a very good job of delivering a product that you can really enjoy from 9 to 95. Do you mind if I put that with your stuff? Perfect. Now, a special token of appreciation. We've got a, not necessarily sweepstakes, but kind of a promotion going on at the library right now, where we are offering free bookmarks. So I thought I would give you two. One for your niece and one for your nephew, if you don't mind. Perfect. These are brand new. They definitely haven't come out of books like some of the other ones. But they're pretty high quality as well. And they've got the little tassels, so you don't necessarily have to go rooting around and flipping through pages trying to find where your bookmark is. This one says, "Wherever you go, go with all of your heart." Which is a quote from Confucius, and it has an atlas theme on it. Very old world style. Very popular at the moment. And then one that says, "You will travel in a land of marvels." And I believe this is a Jules Verne quote. You can see the hot air balloon motif up at the top. And I don't know about you, but I love this style of illustration. Ballpoint pen or calligraphic pen. Very fine line with lots of shading going on. So I wish we had some more of these, but right now this is the only version of these that we have. Hopefully next week, when we move into the second week of the promotion, we'll be able to get a couple variants. Either way, these are really nice bookmarks, so still I think a pretty valuable deal for you. So, I think that's everything then. Unless there's anything else that you want to take a look at. As you can see, there aren't too many other people here, so I have all the time in the world to help you. That's it, you think? Well, I suppose your pile is getting rather large, and I imagine that even with a backpack, as you have, there's probably an upper limit to how much you can carry, so I don't know that we want to push that too far. But please, feel free to drop by again. We're open over the weekend, obviously, and if your niece and nephew need any additional reading material, or if you need some more inspiration or any other reference books, please come in, let us know, and we'll do our best to find what you need. And if we don't have it, then we'll be sure to get it. And right now we're down to about 3 or 4 days for shipping time for interlibrary loans. So if you need something in particular, we can get it to you pretty fast. Perfect. Thank you so much for stopping in, and I will check you out now. So, perfect. Thank you very much. See you again soon. Bye-bye.